Hi. Surely when you're in your 50s, your eye makeup doesn't have to change very much from when you were younger. Well, maybe, maybe not. It depends a little bit on whether your eyes have changed shape and whether the skin around your eyes has become thinner and crepier. My name is Tricia and I'm founder and MD of Look Fabulous Forever, and we have products specifically formulated for older eyes, faces and lips. What we're going to do in this video is to show you how to compensate if you have some of those signs of aging so that your makeup still looks fantastic, no matter that you might be in your 50s. Our model for this video is Jill. Jill is just 56, it's very important that I say that. And our makeup artist is Linda, who's going to be demonstrating the eye makeup techniques on Jill for us today. The first product that Linda's going to use on Jill's eyes is the eyelid primer. Now, primer is really important when we're older for a couple of reasons. One is you can see as Linda applies it that it's flesh coloured. What that means is that it neutralises any discoloration that may have started to form on the eyelids. So Linda has put it over the whole area, eyelids and slightly above. And when it's dry, the effect of the primer is to form a base onto which you can then put other products. These products will then stay in place for longer, and there won't be that tendency to go into any creases that you've got on your eyes or any crepiness. Now we're going to have a look at Jill's brows. Jill is lucky, she's got really good thick brows. They're well shaped, they've got good colour in them still, and really are not showing any signs of ageing at all. However, they can still be better defined, and Linda is doing that using the brow shape. So she's shaking it up first. Because it's a kind of liquid paint, it's important that you shake it well to begin with. And in that way, it goes on better. Sometimes it's a good idea to take a little bit of the excess off on the back of your hand first. And you can see that by grooming the brows, using the special brush, which is brush number 6, it just pushes the brow shape colour into the brows and makes them look smoother and better defined. The thing about eyebrows is that they frame your entire face, not just your eyes. And the aging process, unfortunately, can mean that our brows become a lot sparser. And if we plucked them a lot when we were younger and they didn't grow back properly, we can end up with a real problem. So putting the definition back using something like our brow shape, which is very, very realistic and subtle, makes an enormous difference to the eyes, but also to the entire face. Lovely. I think you can see just what a difference it makes once you've defined your brows. Ultimately, it will make Jill's eyes look a lot bigger. Next product that Linda is going to use is the eye shade in Cocoa. Jill has actually got beautiful, reddy, coppery hair and gorgeous, gorgeous green eyes. So using the Cocoa eye shade, which is a perfect colour for her, all over the eyelid. So it's going on top of the eye primer and onto the eyelid. So just doing the other eye, same thing. Linda's using brush 7, which is a perfect size and shape for applying the shade to the eyelids. Jill's eyes are very slightly hooded, and the effect of pushing the eye shade up above the eyelid gives better definition if you have that problem. So using the same shade again and using a finer brush, this is brush number 5, Linda is creating a soft line underneath Jill's eyes. So by matching the colour underneath to the colour above, you're creating a really pretty effect. And of course, what it's doing, it's really making Jill's eye colour pop because it complements her lovely green eyes so well. The next thing that Linda's going to use, she's going to use a slightly different colour, charcoal, darker, same fine brush, brush number 7, and this time, can you see how she's just doing that outer edge? Now by pulling the shade out beyond the natural line of the eye, like that, she makes the eyes look bigger. Obviously wipe away any excess that you have that's just dropped down on the top of the cheekbones. So same thing on the other eye. So what we're not doing here with Jill, we're not putting in a solid line along the edges of the eyelashes. That would be very heavy and it wouldn't look particularly attractive because we've covered the eyelid with the cocoa shade. Just on the outer edge. The important thing to remember with any eye makeup that you put on is to blend it really well. You really don't want any hard edges at all. The idea of shadow or shade is that it is subtle, and the only way to make it look subtle is if, having applied it, you then, as Linda is doing now, you take quite a big fat brush. Our brush 7 is perfect for that, and making sure that it's quite clean, just blend the shadow in. So what we've done so far is to apply darker shade to Jill's eyes, and we are going to put a small amount of soft moss lid colour, this is a lid smoothie, just into that inner corner. So if you think of your eye in half, with the iris in the middle, then it's on the left hand side of that on your right eye, which you can see what Linda's doing there now. Okay, so onto the other eye, and hopefully you can see exactly where Linda is just putting it. Now the effect of light or a lighter colour is to increase the illusion of size, so it makes the eyes look bigger. Soft moss is a very, very pretty pale green. It's absolutely perfect on Jill with her colouring. Next thing, we're going to use our highlighter. We call this Fabulous Light. Now, the effect of a highlighter is to draw attention to something that you want to draw attention to, like your brow bone. The bones in our face, our brow bone and our cheekbones, give our face definition, and by highlighting them, we are contouring or shaping the face and making it look more attractive. So a small arc of that colour on the outer edge of that brow bone and then down as an arc of colour onto the top of the cheekbones, you can see the effect of that. It's very pretty. Linda's also putting a small amount above the eyebrow. Again, this lens definition makes the eyes pop. So, curling the eyelashes. I don't know whether you curl your eyelashes, but it's really effective when you do. So, just make sure you trap just the lashes and not part of the lid. This is much easier to do on yourself than it is on somebody else, because you can feel it immediately when it's too near to the end of the lashes. Pumping 2 or 3 times, and the effect is pretty instantaneous. So, curling the lashes back, lifting them away and up so that the mascara that you put on looks gorgeous. So we're using a black mascara, and when you're older, it's not a very good idea to use very thick, gloopy, volumizing mascaras, just because it can make your eyelashes, if they have become a little sparse, quite spidery, which is not particularly attractive. So our mascara doesn't do that, but it does add a lovely subtle definition. So Linda's first of all putting it on the bottom eyelashes. Remember, we put some of the cocoa shade underneath, so now we're putting the mascara on, and the effect of putting it on the bottom and the top lashes means that the eyes look more open and bigger. So now onto the top lashes, using a zigzag motion that pushes the mascara properly onto the lashes. So starting at the base of your lashes and lifting as you go. So zigzag and lifting, zigzag and lifting. And what that does is it separates the eyelashes, it lifts them up, and because you've curled them, you will get the absolutely best effect that you can possibly get from your mascara. I always think mascara is one of those things that I'd want on a desert island. I shouldn't be so vain as to care what I look like on a desert island, but I'd know that if I had my mascara and maybe a little bit of lippy, which I could use as a blusher, I could look gorgeous when I was rescued, which of course I would hope to be. I just think mascara makes a huge difference. And we're going to finish with a really pretty lipstick on Jill, which is called Foxy Lady. This is a perfect colour for her. So when she was having her face makeup done earlier, we applied some lip primer and we've allowed that to dry, and now Linda's just putting on top, using a brush, which is our little brush 5. And the effect of the lipstick with the blusher that she has on, she has peach cream blush, complementing this particular shade, which, as I said, is Foxy Lady. is going to look spectacular. This is actually quite a vibrant lipstick. It's quite dark, but if you're the right colour for it and you have hair like Jill's, you've got warm toned skin, then it's absolutely perfect. You may prefer to wear a lip colour like this at night. It might be too strong for you to wear during the day. However, we have a colour called soft coral, which is perfect for a daytime look if you've got warm toned skin. There we go. So, eye makeup done, lipstick on, and looking gorgeous.